What's up everybody, it's the Home Ec Guy here and welcome to today's vlog. Today I'm going to be working on my worm composting bin a little bit. I got a worm composting bin last month before Christmas and it's been doing pretty good. The worms are pretty good, I think. The problem is I got a lot of mites, which means I made my stuff a little bit too wet, and that's definitely my fault. I kept adding water to it and I didn't realize that it was too wet. So in order to get rid of the mites, I'm going to start getting some new bedding ready. I'm using this Eco Earth bedding here, and we're going to get that ready, and we're going to start getting the bedding with the mites out. I'm going to put that out in my regular composting bin. I'm going to separate the worms from it, and then I'm going to add the worms back, and we're going to rebuild this. So the first thing I have to do is, this is a 3-brick thing, so I only need one of these bricks for now. I'm going to take out one of these bricks. I'm going to add about 1 gallon of water, and it'll expand to be about 7 or 8 quarts in size, and that'll be plenty for what I need for my bin. And then I will, once I get that stuff ready here in my 5-gallon bucket, I will start sorting out the worms and the mites and get this taken care of. So let me get this water added in, let me get this stuff going, and I'll come back soon and we'll take a look inside the worm bin and see what I'm talking about when it comes to mites. Alright, so what we see here is one of the bricks. It's nice and dry. It says to add 4 quarts of water and let it sit for a half an hour. So I have my 4 quarts of water here. We're going to add it in here and let it sit for a half hour. My dogs want to come in. And now we wait. Alright, so this is the worm bin I got. We're going to pull this canvas off here. I had tried adding some cardboard to help dry it out some, but that didn't really seem to work. I'm going to put this canvas outside. Alright, let's see if we can zoom in and see some of these mites I'm talking about. I don't know what that is, but that's not... I don't want him there, that's for sure. And you see all these little white specks, these are all mite eggs, or actual mites, some of them. So we want to try and get all of these out of here. Let's see what we can do. I removed about half of the substrate in here, all the stuff on the top. There's still mites and such in here, but what we're going to do is we're going to try and dry this out. We're going to put some cardboard on here. I'm going to cover this with feed. Then I'm going to cover it with cardboard, shredded cardboard, and then I'm going to cover it with my new substrate. And hopefully that will mitigate the mite issue. But the truth is, there are a ton of worms in here, far more than I started out with. So that is all good news. And we'll come back a little bit later. Here's the bucket of stuff I removed. That's all going to go out into my pile right now. I'm going to get this set up. Then I'm going to move all this stuff off my counter and clean everything because there was mites. I have no shortage of cardboard available to me with what I do as a solar installer. A lot of stuff comes in boxes, so I have tons of boxes. This here is all just cardboard. I'm going to shred some of it up by hand or maybe with some scissors or something. And we're going to cover this layer that I have in here with that. And then this is what our stuff is looking like right now. And that's still got some time. And then we will add that to the top of it. So I've torn up some corrugated cardboard here. It's all, I haven't added any water or anything to it because, again, my whole goal is to try and dry this up some and deal with some of these mites. Once my rest of my bedding is ready, I'll start adding that right on top of this. I might put some food on top of here first as well, and then put the bedding on top. That should get my worms going more, and we'll see what happens. I will say that I'm far from an expert. I'm actually like about as beginner as it gets, but part of the fun of this whole thing is learning how to do it and trying to figure out what works and what doesn't. And hopefully together we can figure out what's going to work and kind of come up with a good breakdown of the best way to do this and kind of have our own little worm farm here. Ultimately, I'd like to create more of these bins and have more of this going at once. But for now, this is where we're at. I'm going to get this bedding ready and we're going to add it to the top. So the bedding I made for this is way too wet. It's soaking wet. I did what the instructions said, but maybe the instructions were geared more towards reptiles or something versus worms. But in the end, this is going to be way too wet and will attract mites again, and we don't want that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take maybe another one of these bricks, another half of one of these bricks or something, and add it to it. Let's see if we can dry it out some more. Bedding's way too wet. I wrung it out as best I could to get it as dried out as I can, but it still seems pretty damp. That's okay. Under here I have a bunch of food that's really dry. That should absorb some of it. I have a bunch of cardboard under here that's really dry. That'll absorb it. And then I'm going to put cardboard on top of here. And hopefully, if things go well, this will do its thing. The worms should have food for at least a week or so in there. Maybe not, but we'll check it out. And we'll come back and we'll do some investigating here in a couple days and see what's going on. I'm going to add full sheets of cardboard on top here. Well, I'm going to shred some up and then I'll add some full sheets. The shredded stuff might absorb some more, and then the full sheets should just keep it dark and help for a little bit more water absorption. But as you can see here on the side, it goes down. That's my new stuff. Then we got a layer of food and cardboard, and then we got the old stuff under there where all the worms currently are. Hopefully this will work. Like I said, I'm a complete noob at this, so if you have any tips, advice, or anything else, please leave a comment below. Like, subscribe for more information or more home economics type things, and we'll see you next time.